Welcome to JHart Modelworks. It's time to unbox the next project on the bench, so join me as we take a look at what's in the box of the Aoshima 68 MGB. Welcome to my workbench. Let's get started. Hey guys, Justin here. As mentioned in the intro, it is time for another unboxing. I do know that the Audi R8 is not finished yet. As I mentioned in the last couple of videos, I am still waiting on the window masks for all the windows that I ordered from Zoom. And I figured while I wait, I'm going to go ahead and start on another build. The Audi R8 will be finished, I promise, for anyone who may actually be following that build. When I first started building, like 6 or 7 years ago, whenever I first started again as an adult, I watched a lot of YouTube channels, and there was a particular channel where the individual, he liked to make absolutely certain that everybody knew he was a competition model builder, and that you had to do it his way if you wanted to win competitions, which I didn't really care at the time. But two, he had a habit of starting projects and then something wouldn't go right on the project, and so he just would move on to something else. And that absolutely frustrated me to no end. I'm not going to go into too many details, but he started a how-to project, got 2 or 3 videos into it, multiple build series videos where he start a build series and then something wouldn't go absolutely perfect, so it couldn't be a show quality model, and so he would just move on. And but I'm 4 or 5 episodes in, so I'm emotionally invested. I want to see this thing finished, never to be seen again. Just absolutely frustrating, and I don't want to be that guy. So I've decided that I am going to do the Aoshima, the MGB that Vic sent me. We'll talk about that here in a second. But once it's done, if the masks have not arrived yet, I'm just going to go ahead and do some, do your own window masks using some Tamiya tape and a marker, and just move on. But it will get finished. It's absolutely going to get finished. This was sent to me by Vic over at Vic's Minis, and this is the absolute perfect kit for where I am right now. It's a curbside kit. There's not, there's just kind of the undercarriage, a little bit of the bottom side of the engine molded into the chassis. It looks like a fun little kit. There's not a huge number of parts. It just looks like it's going to be a fun, quick, easy little build. It'll be nice and relaxing. And, it's the holidays, so there's going to be weeks where I don't get anything done. And it's just not going to be that big of a deal. And, like I said, it looks like it's going to be a fun little build. So, that's what we're going to go ahead and do. Again, there's the... So let's go ahead and get this turned around and we can take a look at what's in this box. Alright guys, here is the box. Some beautiful box art here. Got some specs about the car. Quick little blurb here. There are some color call outs that we'll probably just completely ignore. Some caution in a bunch of languages that I don't speak. That's going to cover all of the box art. It is a top opening box. We have a note from Vic, and that doesn't come in the box, but we'll talk about that later. We do have some instructions that I had on the scanner. We have our body. We have our clear sprue, which I did open up. If y'all saw the mail call video where I did the channel cards and the the mail call for this, I mentioned that I heard some rattling around in here and I wanted to make sure nothing was broke. The rattling was the windshield and the soft top, which they've molded in clear. They had broken off the sprues and were just rattling around, so I did get in here and put those into some little plastic baggies to keep them safe. So we have our clear sprue. We have our chassis pan. We have a couple of sprues of gray parts, as well as some wheels and poly caps. We have a very nice chrome sprue with some wire wheels. And we have some decals and window masks. They very nicely give you some window masks in there for doing all the windows, as well as it looks like some photo etches in here as well. So that's the base contents. Let's go ahead and give me a moment to get everything unwrapped, and we'll go through all the sprues and stuff. All right, we are back, have everything unbagged. Let's go ahead and start with our instructions. These are some fold-out map style instructions. Personally, I'm more of a fan of the book stuff. It's a little easier than trying to mangle with this. But instructions are in Japanese and English. Everything looks pretty clear. We do have some color callouts, general instructions on how to do decals. Oddly enough, it starts with the body painting and decaling. At least that first page is just paint and paint instructions and decal instructions. And then since there's not an engine, it just starts straight in on the suspension. It's not bad. So those look pretty straightforward. We're going to go ahead and continue on with the paper products here. We have our decals. Nice crisp printing. Got a few various plates and MG badging. Some pretty nice gauge clusters there. Those all look good. We'll stick those in the new project box. We get some photo etch here. Just a small little thread of some badges here. But it is a very nice touch. Also a very nice touch are the window masks, which are die cut and ready to just peel and stick. We have our tires, which are all branded Dunlops. Super nice, super crisp. Just some beautiful tread detail. Doesn't look to be, I mean, there is, of course, a seam, but it's not really that bad at all. All four tires are the same size. Of course, have some poly caps, which nothing exciting there. They're just poly caps. We get a couple of US, or actually these are really Japanese size plates. It's interesting those didn't come on the chrome sprue. Let's also get the clear parts out of the way. I like to keep these in the bag until they're pretty much needed. We do have a lot of small clear parts in here. Beautifully molded headlight lenses. Lots of detail, very crisp, very clean. Our tail lights here as well. Let's say I put these other two parts in clear plastic baggies to keep them safe as they had broken loose and were floating around. This is your soft top, which I think is kind of an interesting way of doing that, doing it as a clear part, but I guess it's kind of cool. You don't have to worry about your glowing lenses in. Not that I'm likely to use that. I love convertibles, but I love them because you can see all the detail on the interior work. So I will be keeping mine open. We also have our front windshield, which looks like it's been a little scuffed up from sliding around in the bag. This is okay. I may try to do some sanding and polishing on this. Just give it a light bit of micro mesh, maybe some 6,000, 8,000, and 12,000, and then hit it with some Novus polishes to kind of see if I can't clean that up. I may start with the Novus polishes first. Little optical clarity test here. And the glass itself is pretty clear. There's not a lot of waving in here. Check out off the sprue for lots of detail parts. Might as well give Mark a quick pitch here. Mark's an awesome builder. He makes some awesome parts as well. So, give him a good check out. But yeah, the glass itself, other than the scratching, is really nice. Now for the meat and potatoes, the stuff we've all been waiting for. That beautiful body. The molding is nice and crisp. Panel lines look pretty good. They may need some rescribing. The trim is well pronounced. It's clean. And there are mold lines, but they're kind of hard to see because of the white plastic. And Aoshima did a really good job of hiding a lot of them. Like there's one right here that runs through here, but it runs up and it kind of runs inside this groove here. If you feel this fender, it's smooth. So they didn't put it there. They actually tucked it in here, and it's just nice and cleanly done. Maybe we turn this light down a little bit. Yeah, that might get us a little bit better. But you can kind of see it's right there. Again, they just kind of tucked it in right here. It seems like it runs right along this panel line. Or it might actually run right in this seam. There is a small little circle here, which I will sand, smooth, and clean up. That's actually for the antenna mount. But I'm either not going to use it or I'm going to place it somewhere else because I'm going to place it on this side. You have some slightly raised areas here for the badging, which I'm not sure if you're doing the photo etch. I would think you might need to sand that smoother, so it's not so pronounced when that photo etch is sitting on it, but we shall see. Again, the mold lines are right up here, and they're really smooth. They're not very pronounced. They should be pretty easy to clean up. Nice small little body. We also have our chassis, which this is a curbside kit. There's a lot of detail molded into the underside of this chassis, to the bottom of your engine, your transmission, your drive shaft, some of your frame parts. Again, the molding is all very crisp, very clean. There's a bit of a sink right there that you're going to want to address. Does not seem to show up over, well, it's over there a little bit too. Another thing, I've not seen a whole lot of ejector pin marks. Now there are on this side, but no one's going to see anything on this side. It's like they placed everything very cleanly, which is something that with some of the Revell kits that I've been working with, these ejector pin marks are sometimes in very obvious, glaring places, and they're just, really noticeable. But everything's really clean here. We have a true sprue for the interior. We have our dashes in 2 pieces. This glues onto the back of this. And sadly, it is only right-hand drive in this kit. But that is okay. Because my brother from another mother, Shawn, from the Scale Modeling Car Guide channel, has sent me a left-hand drive dashboard for an MGB. So thank you, Shawn. You are absolutely awesome. So we've got the dash. We have a fairly simple interior pan. If you notice, there's no ejector pin marks in it. Door cards are nice and crisp. And there are spots in here for the window crank and the door handle. Kind of don't like that the door pull is molded like that, but that's okay. We have our seats, and these are kind of strange. I don't know if those are seat backs or seat bottoms. They look like they should be seat backs, in which case that would mean that the backs of the seats are wider than the bottoms, which is kind of weird, but that's okay because I may be replacing these with some 3D printed seats. And we have our soft top in the down position, which has some nice rivet detail, beautiful, beautiful fold molding. So it really looks all folded. You could get a wash in there really nicely. You have a chassis and suspension sprue. Pretty much the entire rear suspension. Rear diff, leaf springs, and everything is in one piece. So that's kind of a good thing. You don't have to worry about, making sure everything lines up and is straight and square and sits evenly. So you're going to have a much better chance of your wheels all sitting square and flush. We've got some front suspension arms. Nicely molded fuel tank. Got some nice little straps in there. Some more front suspension pieces. Our gear shifter. Again, kind of surprising this is not on the chrome sprue. I'm not even sure what this is. Part of our front spindles. A sway bar, tie rods, the exhaust. Which that's going to need a little bit of work to clean that up. That's okay. Steering column. That steering wheel is beautifully molded. There's like no flash. You can actually see through it. That's beautiful work. That's going to be fun to paint up. We have our mirrors. Which those might be large enough to pin. I do not know. Some license plate mounts. We have some rear drum brakes. And some front disc brakes. I thought about replacing it with 4 disc brakes, and I'm just like, I don't think so. We've got our chrome sprue, and the chrome is very nice. And look at that front grille. It's not solid. You can see straight through it. I mean, that is incredibly detailed. Beautifully molded. Kickoffs for the wheels. With some really nicely molded wire wheels. I thought about replacing these with some 3D printed Dunlop Steelies. I'm not sure though. These are the backings for the taillights. So you've got a chrome backing, and then you paint your clear red and clear orange on the clear part and just glue that over. So you end up with your chrome trim, headlight, buckets, and all of this is really nicely done. I'm probably going to end up stripping it and trying some of this Duralumin chrome, which I've been playing with lately. Speaking of Shawn, kind of working on some 1/8 scale parts for Shawn, and this is that Duralumin tough, which, I mean, that is, for chrome, that is beautiful. So yeah, I mean, some really nice chrome parts. I may strip them, I may not, I may keep them. We shall see. Now, there are some incredibly fine parts that are going to be very delicate, and I've got to try real hard not to break, such as these door handles, the door latches for the inside, and the window cranks. Also, this piece right here goes up the center of the windshield, and your mirror glues on here. This is going to be a pain to try and repaint. It's going to be a pain to glue. It's going to be a pain to try and cut off the sprue without breaking it. That looks incredibly fragile, so we will have to exercise some serious caution there. And that is going to wrap it up for this kit. I did go out and buy a new project box since I've got 2 active projects now. I have a Splash logo on here. We will be using some Splash paints on this as well when we get to painting the body coming up. Probably the first or second video. I've got a really nice color plan for it. And all in all, this looks like it's going to be a fun, quick little build. Thanks to Vic from Vic's Minis for sending me this kit. Thanks for Shawn from the Scale Model Car Guy channel for sending me a left-hand drive dash. Thank you guys for hanging out with me and watching. I'm going to go ahead and get started on the body prep, and I will see you on the next one. Later. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. Also, feel free to leave comments, feedback, critique, or anything else in the comment section below. I enjoy interacting with all my viewers in the comment section and try to reply to all the comments I receive. If you want to catch future videos, please consider subscribing to my channel and make sure you click the bell notification icon so you can be notified when I upload new videos. As always, thank you for watching, keep modeling, and have a great day.